Yeah, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching from. This is Dot Nation News coming to you from Lagos State. Our topic today is Simon Ekpa's trial, which has been scheduled, again, rescheduled to be on the sit-at-home day. That should be on 30th May. And that is actually a mockery to the Biafran country. It is a game plan between Britain and the Finland, which has started playing hanky-panky in the recent time against the Biafran people. Why shifting Simon Ekpa trial to 30th May, whereby the whole Biafrans are remembering all the slaughtered 5 million Igbo people during the pogrom of 1967 to 1970. It is a sacred day for Biafrans, for the Igbo man, to actually express their griefs. We are all going to stay at home on 30th May, at least grieving over our dear ones, our lovely ones that were, killed, annihilated or decimated from 1966 to 1970. That's why we brought out 30th May every year, as a Biafran day. And you can see what the socialist Britain, the white supremacist, is doing to reshape our plan and struggle for Biafra emancipation. Britain is the major cause of the Igbo exploitation, marginalization, and the persecution in Nigerian states. Britain has been on it since after the war. Instead of just placating the Igbos or working hard to make peace among Nigerians so that the country could forge forward, Britain is playing a role of sidelining the Igbos, supporting the Fulani Janjaweeds, their counterparts, to maim, to exploit, to marginalize the Igbo nation. As if they are not done, they are working hand in hand to make sure that the present condition of Biafra, which is picking up, as one of the newly emerging states, the new emerging states, in Africa, on the African continent, fails. We've seen the plan right from onset, beginning or started with abduction or kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nairobi, Kenya. It was a orchestrated plan between Nigeria and Britain, their colonial master. The second coming of Britain is going to be deadly because we Africans were just growing into that kind of maturity that no British supremacist could play games with our brain anymore. They can never succeed on doing that. Neo-colonialism is it, we know. It is springing up from all corners, all angles, all regions of African continent. A situation whereby the French, speaking countries have actually waking up from their slumbers. I don't think the Anglophone, their counterparts, English-speaking countries on the continent could be as lazy, enjoying this slumber of ignorance and ignominy. So we are marching forward to actually express our view on how Britain and Finland lately are trying to reshape the agitation of emancipation of Biafra. What we have been doing for many years, Britain has stepped in. Then the best friend, closest ally we have in Europe, Finland, is like they are merging together with Britain, as a result of bribes, money, crude oil that Nigeria has actually doled out to Finland. The Scandinavian nation has, been cooperating secretly with Nigerian nation, bribing Finland, with oil, money, could not stop emergency of Biafra. Biafra has, succeeded on emerging this 30th May. And I'm telling you that really indeed is a story that will actually, take shape very soon. The Igbo people, the Igbo race, the Biafrans are the most resilient people I know on the continent of Africa. They are the most hardworking, industrious people on the western region of Africa. And the Fulanis has been working hard since 18th century to Islamize, southeastern Nigeria after the Fulani conquest of the north, from northwest to northeast. They have not been able to at least bring down the Igbo man. And this is so painful to them. And they are working very hard since 200, 300 years ago to make sure that they successfully Islamize southeastern Nigeria. On the 30th of this month, we are unashamedly announcing our strong, courageous will and decision to come out en mass or sit down at home, at least to protest the death, supervision of pogrom that actually brought down 5 million Igbos from 1966 to 1970. The war proceeded with Britain playing colonial role that is so ruthless and wicked, in conjunction with Nigerian military clique led by Yakubu Gowon from 1967 to 1970. And we are not relenting from expressing our views on a global platform. Reasons behind our sitting at home on 30th May. Come quote me, if they try Samurai this very particular date, it is not our plan, it is not on our agenda to try EPA on this very particular sensitive date. That is just to divert our attention from doing the needful, what we have been annually, regarded to be very... We've been actually regarding sit at home every 30th May as a sacred day, where we remember our uncles, our brothers, our fathers, our sisters, our mothers and fathers that were killed, and maimed in 1967, 68, 69, and 70. No amount of neo-colonial policy that is springing up from Western Europe could stop Igbo man from at least institutionalizing 30th May as Biafra Remembrance Day. When Ojukwu was alive, we do it unashamedly without considering what the Nigerian nation or government could do. And now that Ojukwu is gone, everybody is desperate about remembering Biafran Day every 30th May. I'm telling you, it is really indeed a story that Britain will never forget in a haste. We actually know the supervision of all the pogrom that's orchestrated from 1967 to 1970 under the supervision of British tabloid, who actually invigilated many shootings, many killings of the Igbo officers in the barracks across Nigeria. With all their equipment, they covered it, they write it, they narrated it on the front pages of newspaper across UK. Britain is against Christianity. Britain is worse than pagans. Britain embraces Islam today, which is why you have many of them in the PM, British PM parliamentarians. Arab is forming at least 45% to 50% of the constituents of House of Lords today in the UK. Britain actually represents, let me say, Satanism. A group of people actually that have sold the missionaries, preaching about Christianity into this country called Nigeria, especially the Church of England by Henry VIII. They have actually turned against the Jews, the black Jews, the white Jews. Currently, the pogrom that is going on in Gaza today, Gaza conflict, Britain has actually been warning, threatening Israel. They are of no help, logistically, materially, of no help, assistance to the state of Israel to bounce back to its might. But they are playing hanky-panky, unstable role, chameleonic, at least, roles, convincing Israel they are with Israel. It is a lie. Britain is not with state of Israel. They are playing what? Ruthless game. The kind of shameful things that happened to Igbo man in 1960s, when Fulani Janjaweed in conjunction with Britain colluded together to destroy and annihilate the Igbos. I'm telling you that Britain is not relenting from casting aspersion of abhorrence and hatred on Igbo people from the southeastern region of Nigeria. Today they are trying to rewrite our narratives. 30th May is so sacrosanct and holy in Igbo land, and Britain is not, relenting from making it to be a fruitless effort. I'm telling you that nothing can or ever will minimize the injustice and ruthless policy played by Britain in the 90s, in the war of 1967 between Nigeria and Biafra. Ojukwu actually took everything on a very good note. you know, engraved all the narratives, you know, of what British Labour government, you know, committed against his people, the Igbos. Though Ojukwu Buruburu, Eze Buruburu of Igbo land, is dead, but the legacy he left on has been carried out by young boys, young children that were born, you know, during the escalation era of the war of 1966, 67, 68, 69, 70. I can tell you actually that Mazi Ohamadike Nnamdi Kanu was born in 1967. And you can see today, as Ojukwu spoke and charged the Britain and the Fulani Janjaweed and even Gowon and his kinsmen, that time shall come. Someone that will be mightier, greater than me, will take up the case of Biafra, and Biafra will emancipate under his watch. And you British, that is joining Fulani Janjaweed to annihilate and kill the Igbos, time shall come when you shall fall. And then you go on, that is tacitly heartless, killing the Igbos. You the mid-belters in Benue, killing the Igbos, Igbos your brothers. Time shall come when Fulani, unprovoked, would actually kill and put all your people to sword. What is going on now? Gowon is crying, Gowon is weeping. The Fulani Janjaweeds are killing people in Plateau State, Nasarawa State, Niger State, all the mid-Beltan states, unprovoked, even in Taraba. How many were killed last week in Taraba? The Fulani Janjaweed died. Many farmers, many villages are clashing together with the Fulani bush dwellers in Taraba. When the Fulani bush dwellers had actually invaded various communities in Taraba, killing, unaliving, buying, and disaliving many villagers. There is war, serious pogrom, as I'm talking to you progressively, going on, raging in Taraba State. This is as a result of evil that these mid-Beltans, in connivance with Britain, you know, perpetrated against the Igbo people. It began to look like genocide in 1967, 68, 69, and 70, and certainly concluded by the kind of military operation sponsored under the watch of Yakub Gowon, carried out by Muhammad Buhari at Asaba. 1,000 Asaba men were actually assembled outside their compound, outside their houses, on a public square, and were shot. 1,000 in number were disalived, unalived, and killed, thereby rendering over 1,000 Asaba women husbandless, beside their children, fatherless. I'm telling you that Britain has gone too far to hurt the Igbo man. We are not hiding the story again. Chukwuemeka, my friend, written by Frederick Forsyth. The Making of an African Legend, written by Frederick Forsyth. Sunset at Dawn, Chukwuemeka Ike, and many. While we struck, a Yoruba man wrote it. There are many books you can read today for you to testify and witness actually that I am telling the facts. My name remains Ralph Tresvant, and I am the sole, owner of this YouTube channel, Nations YouTube channel. I am the owner. Please, what you can do for me, I beg you, my esteemed viewers, click notification bell, like, share to your contacts, and make sure you subscribe. Subscribe. God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching.